Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. Today we're going to go over oil and gas, do some technical analysis, some energy service companies at the end, and I'll show you kind of what I'm seeing in the charts for oil and natural gas and some of the companies themselves. This has been the strongest sector in the commodity, one of the strongest sectors in the commodity sector. We've got coal. I put some coal companies in here as well at the back, but this has been a very strong sector. And I don't know if it's going to continue forever, guys. Obviously, we're going to have a pullback at some point, but a lot of them look pretty strong. And I think it will continue in the short term. At least that's what it looks like chart-wise. And I'll show you why I say that. So here comes my financial opinion on oil and gas. So here we go. And a little bit of coal. So I'm going to start with sweet crude here. I'm going to throw in this high here. And what we're seeing is a breakout. We're coming out and we're breaking out to the upside for crude oil. Are we going to do a back test? I don't know. Or if we're just going to shoot on higher, we could come back and retest it and move on up. But we're breaking out at the moment. And when you take a bigger picture view, this is a bigger breakout than what most people think. This isn't just, the near-term view of us breaking this out at this little corner here. We're also breaking it in the 2017-18 range, and also all the way back in the mid-2000s. And we also use this as support in the early 2010s, 2011. So we've got a big breakout here, breaking out. And more than likely, we're going to retest it. We're going to come back and retest and then move on up. So the big picture view here, this is a big deal. It's a big breakout. And we gapped kind of higher throughout the day to break that resistance level. So that's looking really good for oil, for moving higher. Natural gas has been moving higher. We're getting real choppy right in here. Buyers and sellers are dueling it out and battling each other. But I'm holding on and I'm staying long. And a lot of these companies, they're basically following the oil price. You can see that we're breaking out here for SM Energy. I threw that in there. We're breaking on out. It looks good. It finished pretty strong. So that one looks good. And Centennial Development, we were going to break here, but we ran into some resistance. You can tell that we're trying to break through its 52-week highs here, and we're getting into a little bit of resistance. I call it getting a little bit sticky as we run into some sellers. And then Callon Petroleum, again, we're breaking through. We're making some good progress, 7% up day, so that one looks pretty strong. I'm just holding on to these big bulls. We've got Sandridge, which has been more highly correlated with natural gas, and it looks like it might be thrown in a little short-term top, but with the momentum it has, I'm just holding on. I don't sell in and out of these companies. Comstock looks like it could pull back in the short term. This is one I would look at if it does pull back and do a retest. I would definitely be looking at Comstock to add into. And then Northern Oil and Gas is breaking out. You can tell the resistance is becoming less, and we had a little bit of a run today, so that one is looking excellent. Crescent Point's running into some sellers on its attempt to break out today. Again, we're breaking through these ranges in here and getting a little bit of resistance with some sellers. Grand Tierra Energy, this guy's looking good. Just hold on to it and ride it higher. Don't get sold out of these things, guys. I mean, this is the time you got to be strong and you just hold. You just let it make you money. This guy broke out and it's probably going to move on higher eventually. So this one looks pretty good. Tetra Technologies, an energy service company. Helix is another one, energy service company. Looks pretty good, and it could go up and down, but I think on a big long-term perspective, the best thing you can do is to hold on. Buy it and hold on. That's kind of what I'm doing. Transocean's another one that's getting a little bit volatile in here, but again, I think it's going to move on up and mimic the exploration companies, production exploration. And then we have Recaf, and I know some people are asking me, what about Recaf? What's going on with Recaf? Well, Recaf is an exploration company. And we've got a wick in the bottom here, which is good. It means that they tried selling this off and the buyers bought it back up. And they've got 2D seismic that they're doing right now. And they're going to release the results and probably drill a couple more wells. They're going to drill a couple more wells before the end of the year. And they're going to release seismic probably towards the end of October. And what we're seeing is we're seeing the buyers equal the sellers here. And we'll see kind of which way this slants. I don't think it's going to do too much till the end of the month, but I could be wrong. At any point, news can be leaked from the seismic, or people can be positioning based off of information from that seismic. If we start seeing it sell off, maybe the seismic's not that good. Tough to say. Or if it starts to drift higher, maybe people are starting to accumulate it. But at this point, it looks like the buyers are equaling the sellers, and it's a stalemate. I'm not doing anything. I've got a good amount of shares in here. I'm going to be waiting for that report to release. Peabody Energy, we're switching to coal here. We do have a movement that I see, kind of a broken upward trend line. And then I see almost a wedge pattern that broke to the upside and then failed. You could see a bearish engulfing pattern that we came up. Now watch for a move lower here. It could potentially hit us. Because what happens is you break to the downside, you come up and do a retest. People think, oh, yay, we're going to go up higher. And then it gets hit. So watch for the hit if it's going to happen. But that's what I see in Peabody Energy. And tying it with Arc Coal, we've got a nice kind of wick at the top here. We could see some selling off a little bit. I know this is really hot, this sector. And let's see, we might come back and go back below this upward trend line. I'm just saying be careful. And then this one actually looks pretty good. They broke out there and did a back test. We broke out, back tested, and this is probably going to take off. This is Warrior Met Coal. I bet you're going to see a pretty big move here out of Warrior Met Coal to the upside. But right here would have been the day I would have bought it, $22, and then riding it higher. So that's what I have for today. Just wanted to touch on this. I think oil is probably the strongest. Oil itself, probably one of the strongest commodities that I follow. And I think it looks excellent to move higher. Will it move straight higher? Maybe not. We might break out, back test, or retest, and then go. Well, I see that all the time, just like in this Warrior Met Coal scenario. So what I'm doing, I'm not doing anything. I'm holding on to my shares. I purchased when they were down, played it pretty well, and I'm holding on because I do think we have an energy crisis. I do think natural gas is going to remain elevated, and coal's going to remain elevated, I think. And then that's going to put pressure on oil to remain elevated or go higher. So that one's kind of the last to move, I think. But that's kind of my financial opinion on it. That's my take. So it looks pretty good. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.